Hi, my name is Tiberio, and in this lesson I will build the Google website. So let's get started. So first let's remove all the HTML that we have and then save it, and also all the CSS and save it, and then reload the page. So now the page is empty. That's good. Let's go to the google.com, and this is the website that we want to build today. Okay, so let's get the Google image from here. Right click on inspect, and then on the source right click and open a new tab, and we can take this URL and let's just create a simple image here with the source of this URL. Okay, let's see. I reload the page and we have the Google image here. Let's create maybe let's close this one. So maybe first let's create a div where we will put all this stuff here in the middle. So let's have here div and that div, and let's take the image and throw it here for now. Okay, and reload. No, not this one. Alright, let's also add the text input and the two buttons. Let's see. So we'll have an input, and then we'll have one div. What was the name? Google search, and I'm feeling lucky. Google search, and let's add another one. Div of I'm feeling lucky. Save and reload. Let's see what we got. Okay. What else? So we want to have the input below the logo, and now this one is a bit to right. So let's add the Google logo inside a div wrapper, so it will be on a single line. Div, and let's take this one and add it here. Okay, let's save and reload. So now we'll have the div, this one, which is on a new line. Also for the image, let's make it smaller. So we'll go with the width on 400 pixels maybe. Let's see how small we need, or smaller. So maybe we can even use the scroll for this one, maybe 270 maybe. Even smaller actually. Let's go smaller, and maybe 240. Bit bigger, maybe 250, and we'll leave it like that for now. Okay. Let's add the width to a class. Copy and add here. Class will be logo, and then save it, and then we'll have here logo, and then the width. Let's reload the page. Let's add some margin. Okay, to this one, maybe some width first. So let's say it width. So 600 pixels maybe. No, that's too big. 400. Right. And let's say margin left 300 pixels, and then let's say margin top 300. Right, so let's add this to a class, and we'll say, so it's the first div. The name will be class wrapper. Right, and we'll have it here. wrapper and paste the style. Alright, let's see the input. So let's make it bigger with 500. What else? So let's add some padding. Padding maybe 10 pixels. Is this large enough? Right. So now maybe font size. Let's say font size 16. Right, and what else? Let's make it round. We'll have border radius maybe 50 pixels, I guess. It's kind of alright. So this thing, I think it's the outline, so let's remove it. Outline none. This one didn't work. So I think maybe it's the border. So let's add a simple border. Let's say solid 1 pixels, and then we'll say black. Right? Looks a bit similar. And what else? Maybe this color should be some sort of gray, like that. Okay. Yeah, I think it's enough for now. Let's add this to a class. We'll name it input. Right, and then we have input class inputs. Here. And let's move the logo a bit. And let's say, actually, let's move it here. Margin left, maybe 100 pixels, let's say. Let's make it a bit more to the right, like that. Cool, we're getting there a bit. And let's update the logo. Reload. Okay, so it is consistent. What else do we have? So these two buttons. Let's see, inspect, and let's make it display inline block, and let's add some background to see it better. Red for now, and some padding 5. Right, and let's make it the same for the other one to see it better. Alright, so I think it should be, yeah, so padding is bigger. Let's say like that. Alright, let's take this color, let's see if we can. And take the background. Okay, so it's this. Oh, this is the border. Oh, the border is the same as background. And let's add it here. Background. Oh, we already have the background. Alright. And let's round the corners a bit with border. Nah, border radius maybe 5. I think that's too much probably. Yeah. So let's make it 3, I think. Okay. And let's add it to a class for now, and let's say class button, and then here class button. Save it. Let's add it to our CSS here, button, and add the style. Save and then reload. Alright, so we have it like that. So we need to center these buttons. So let's move the div inside another wrapper, and let's move it here. Alright, save and now reload. Inspect here, and we have the div here, and we will say text align center, so it will go to the center. The issue probably is that we have this wrapper, though the width is too low, so we'll make it bigger. Probably we cannot see it. Let's put a temporary background, right? And should be of the entire width for now. Let's make it 500 actually, right? So let's add this to the wrapper, do not forget. The wrapper 500, and we have the align center where it was, so here, not here, text align center here. Let's create another class here, and we'll say class equal, and we'll say buttons. Buttons, no, let's say buttons wrapper. Actually, let's make it like that, maybe. Alright. Buttons wrapper. Text align center. Let's reload to see if it's good. Yeah, so it's getting a bit there. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Yeah, so we need the margin top for these buttons. So let's inspect it and then add here margin top 50. That's too much. Let's make it 40. Yeah, that's just right, I think. Let's check. Yeah, it is similar. So let's take it and add it to the wrapper. Alright, what else? Let's take the search icon and the microphone one. Let's see what the search is. Inspect. And it's an SVG. Okay, so let's copy it and add it to our HTML. We'll just add the SVG here. Alright. Let's see how it looks. It's not very similar with it. So we need to make it like this. So let's inspect it, and on SVG, let's add the width with 50. Still too big. Maybe with, let's say, 20. Alright. And also let's take the color from it. What color is it? Should be this one. So for SVG to change the color, we'll use the fill property and we'll say this color. Alright, so that works. Now we want to bring the search icon close to the input to be here. So let's put them into the same box. So let's create a div and then add the input here, and then also take all the SVG with all the path and add it here near the input. And also let's create a class for SVG, and let's say class equal search, and here we'll say a class which will be input wrapper. Alright, and for search we said, I think we said with 20, I guess. And we also had a color. Maybe let's just copy and paste. So this is from the SVG search, and let's add it here. Alright, save and let's reload. Okay, so that's closer, and let's inspect it. And so we want now to take the search icon and overlap it over the input. So how it is here. So I will use position absolute on it. And we'll say position. Why do I have the caps lock? Let's position absolute. So now it's jumped here. Let's use left 0. So we have it on left 0. So now it's here because, as I said, position absolute, it gets to the edge of the website, but we can also use position absolute inside another box. So if we change the input wrapper style to position relative, then the position absolute from the SVG, it will be relative to the input wrapper. So now it's here, so it's a lot closer. Let's just change it a bit. So we have left 0. We also need some space here. So we want the text to start as you see here from the right. So it should have some space. So let's add some padding first for the input. And I will add padding left 50 pixels. So even if it has an overall padding, this is left, right, top and bottom, you can overwrite just for the left. So let's see. Okay, so now it's a bit closer. Let's change a bit the search icon and we'll say left maybe a bit more, like 5, 10. I think 10 is fine. And let's say top 5. Let's play a bit with width, like that, I guess. I think the left should be a bit higher, like that. I think this input is a bit larger, but we'll get a bit later to it. I think for now it's fine. So let's update the CSS. So we have the search, right? And what else? Have what we did change. So we did some padding to the input. So we get here, and we also had the position relative on the input wrapper, where that was. I think we didn't write anything for it. Actually, let's get closer, maybe here near the input. So we have it is here, input wrapper. Save and reload. Cool. So it gets a bit closer. This padding is a bit too large, but I'll get a bit later to it. Good. So let's see what else. What else? So let's add the microphone. Let's add it here to our website. So let's inspect it. And as we can see, this is a span and it's an image. So let's open in a new tab. Alright, and take the URL. And let's add a simple div to the website. Div. And then reload the page. And for this div, I will add a background image. And I will say URL. And then we'll add the URL here. Alright. And what else? So let's see, we cannot see it because it doesn't have a width and a height, so let's add width 20 and height 20. So, we have something here. Let's make it also background. We need the background size. Background size 20. So now we have a microphone. So let's see it. This one is bigger. So let's make it 25. 25. Right, 25 here and 25 here. And in the same way as the search, let's make it position. Actually, first we need to move it inside the input wrapper. So let's take the style. Right, all the how do we copy all of this? I'm not sure. So let's try it like that. Okay, and we'll delete it after. And create here first, let's say a class will be microphone, and let's get it here, microphone, and add the style like that, and remove this one. Looks good. Okay, let's see if it works. Yeah, so this stay here, and let's take the microphone and move it near the search. So this SVG search, actually we need like that. A div microphone, okay, so let's reload. We have it closer, inspect, and then add position absolute, and we want it to the right 0. And alright, so let's make it top 0. Okay, so write a bit like that, and top maybe something. Alright, looks a bit similar. I think the input is larger. Actually, let's make the input larger a bit. Where is the input? So I think it has more padding. So let's increase the padding to like that. I think it's more similar now. So let's take the microphone again, and we'll have top a bit more. Like that, I guess. And more to right, just a bit more. Bit more, let's say. Let's make it 15. Okay, and let's fix the search again. And for the search top, let's make it like that, and a bit more to left probably. Okay, so let's update the search. Search, right. Let's update the microphone. Where was it? I don't know. Let's inspect it. Have this microphone and add it here. Save, reload. We forgot the input. So for the input padding, I think it was 15. Was it? When reload, I think it was 13 maybe. Right. Yeah, that's about it. I think we are getting there. So the microphone also has this cursor pointer and also has a tooltip, so let's make it the same or similar in our case and inspect, and I will add have cursor pointer like that. And now we have the cursor, and also let's add a title, or maybe first let's add the style to not forget. And for the title we will use something simple on HTML, and I will say here, like simple, I'll say title. And what was the name? It was search by voice. Let's see, search by voice, like that. It will not be the same because this one is a custom tooltip, but I'll add an HTML one. So now I'll have search by voice. Oh, actually it's pretty similar. Search by voice and search by voice. Good. So let's see. Let's fix a bit the buttons. So this is I'm feeling lucky with uppercase, and now it's with lowercase. So let's fix it. Where it was? I'm feeling lucky. Alright. And reload. And also we need to fix a bit of the padding for it. And as you can see, we have here padding for all of them, top, right, left and bottom, 10 pixels, but we can make it specific for each one. So if I say padding and I want for the top one, I say 20 pixels, and then this is right, and I think this is bottom, and this should be left. Yeah, so that's alright, but it doesn't look right. So let's see. So the top should be like that, I think. No, so this one should be a bit larger. And this one. So 10, 15, and let's make this one 10 as well. And this one 15. This one should be, I think, 17 or something like that. 17 and then 17. Alright, and we also can write padding, and this will be top and bottom, and this will be left and right. We can write it like that as well. And is it good? Actually, let's add it for the button, so to be for the both of them. Why it's not working? Because the style is overriding our class, so let's remove both. Alright, so like that. I think something is not right, but not sure why. I think the color as well. The color is not good. Let's see. Oh, it has a background image. Yeah, I will not get into that, so let's just leave it like that. And yeah, let's leave it like that. And let's add the padding to it. The CSS, and we have the buttons. Where is it? Where is it? Here. Save and reload. Alright, and I want to add some margin to it. So let's add some margin actually here, and margin, and I will say for the top 0, and left and right maybe 10 pixels like that. Too much. Maybe 5. Too much. Maybe 4. Yeah, That's alright. Let's add the margin. Where it was here? Save and reload. Also, this input has this effect when you click on it. Actually, when you mouse over it, so you see this shadow. That's nice. We don't have that. So let's add it. So let's search for CSS box shadow on Google. And I want a generator. And we'll go here. And we want to have a square, not a square, to have the shadow all over the square. So it will be the something like this actually. Spread. Alright, and we want it smaller actually. What's this? Right? Something like that. So the color should be more gray actually. Something like that. hmm Actually more. I think something like that. Let's take it and let's test it on the input. So here you have the code generated by the shadow, and let's test it on our input here. Yeah, it's too dark. So let's make it more something like that. What? Alright. And we want this one probably to be thinner, and this one a lot thinner as well. Right, and this one left, right. Let's make maybe the color a bit whiter. Let's see. I think that's close. It's too much, I think. So let's make it thinner. 4 pixel, maybe this one. No, this one. Yeah, that I guess, or is too thin now? I think it's close. Let's just take it and test it. So to test it, I will take it and add it to our input here. And we will say here have input and hover. This will add style to mouse over and add the box shadow. We're missing add that and save it. Let's see how it looks. It's not the same, but it's close. Yeah, you can play with it a bit more, but for now I will just leave it like that. We also need a cursor and some effects for the buttons, as you can see here. So let's add, and actually let's add it directly to the code. And I have for the button, let's add cursor and pointer. And also let's add a hover effect, and we'll say button and hover, and I will have a border which will be solid 1 pixel gray, let's say for now. Let's test it. It's not exactly what we want. So let's change it a bit, inspect, and to see the hover style, we'll go here and press hover. And then we can see the style here. So we have button hover here. If we unpress it, it disappears. But if we press hover, we can change it. So let's change the color. I think it will be a lot thinner. A lot. Something like that. Yeah, let's keep it like that. And let's take the color and replace it here. Save and reload. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it's a bit similar now. It's just this one doesn't change the width and the height, and that's because of the hover. So that's because when we mouse over the button, it will add a border, so that takes space. So that's why we see this effect. And to fix this, I will just add an invisible border. And I'll hit border and have solid 1 pixel, and for the color I'll have transparent. And as you can see now it already has a border, and when we mouse over it, it will just change the color. So that's why now it's fixed. So let's add it to the style here, and then save and reload. Let's see how it looks. So it's very similar, very similar. And we're also missing this space, so let's add it here. So maybe for the, actually let's add it for the logo. So I have the, I think it's this image. And let's add margin bottom 50, which is too much. And let's scroll it to 40 maybe. No, should be 35 probably. Even smaller. Yep, that's about right. Let's add it to our image, which is the logo. Cool. I think we are almost done. So the center, the content looks almost the same. We just need to add the header and the footer. So let's start with the footer. Alright, so let's go to HTML and then add here a div, which will say, not footer, we'll say div. And we'll have class footer. And what do we have inside the footer? Let's see. What do we need? Let's make it a bit larger, this one. Okay, so let's copy the text that we have it. And then let's add it here just as a comment to have it. So this is an HTML comment. Alright, so let's add a list with some elements. This is one. How many? Four on the left and 3 on the right. Business, about, and what it was how? about and then how search works. Alright, and then add another one. Actually, let's just write it. Privacy, terms, and settings. Right, let's reload. And oh, this one actually. So for the left one, we will add the style here. Actually, let's close the hover, and we'll have float left. And for the right one, we'll have float right. So have one to the left and then one to the right. So let's just add that one for the style, and I'll have, let's say, list left, floats left, and then list right, have it float right. Alright, so let's add the classes. For this one left, and for this one right. Save and reload. Okay, so let's also add for the items. So for the items, let's add list item left and list item right. And the same for now. Let's keep it like that. Maybe we will refactor after. Add it for each one. Actually, item and then item and then item. Add it for this one as well. Item, and we need it for the right one as well. So class right, item right. Alright. Let's see what we did. So now we have on the left, and then we have it on the right, but just the style is not good, so we'll fix that as well. Let's get rid of this default style. So for the list, we'll get list style none. Alright, and also I think we need for the items, let's see, some margin maybe. Margin. So something like that, I guess. Yeah, that's good. So let's add those. So which one we said? So list style none for the UL. So let's add it here, let's add it here, and also let's say margin, then pixels for this one. Right, save and reload. What else? So the space here, it's pretty small, but our it's bigger. Let's see why. And that's because the UL has a default padding to the left. So let's remove it. Padding left 0. Alright. And now let's add the background. So we'll just go to another another div here, and then I will say here color, and then bread, just to have this style written here, and then I'll press on the color, and then I will take this color picker, I'll click again on it, and then I will just click here. So this is the color. Let's take it and write it on our website. So on the entire footer, add the background to the footer, and as you can see it's not working. That's because the footer it's display block and the content of it it's floating left or right, so we need to float the footer as well so it can fill the content. So let's say just float left for now, and let's make the width 100%. Also we have some margin left, some margin right, so that's probably from the body, which has a default margin. So we'll say margin 0, and that's better. So let's add to the style to not forget, and that's for the footer. Do we have a footer here? And actually also let's add position fixed. That's similar to absolute, but it will not scroll on the page. And also let's say bottom 0. Alright, so let's take this one and create one for the footer. And add it here. And we also want, so dot footer means that this is the footer class, and if we want a tag, we just write it without dot, so we'll say body, and we'll say margin 0. Alright, and let's take the footer. Oh, it's already here. And yeah, save and reload. It's good. We forgot to add to the style the padding here for the UL. So we said that it has some padding left. So let's go to the list left here and say padding left 0. Alright, that's good. And I think the width is too high. And that's because it has some padding. So let's remove some of the padding. I think it's margin, so margin, let's say only 10 pixels. Just even too high. Like that. Let's add it for the other one as well. Right, I think it's still too high. Yeah. So let's say, actually I think we don't need margin. Let's say margin 0 maybe. Margin 0 for this one, and margin 0 for this one. Nah, it's too low. Let's say 5. Right, and 5 for this one. Okay, let's leave it like that, and let's write it to the CSS to not forget, and the list here. Margin, maybe let's say 4. 4 for the right, and let's reload. Right, I think the font size looks good, but let's take the color maybe. Actually, maybe cancel this one, and let's just inspect to see. That's the color. And for the items, so list item left, this one, so let's say color like that, and then reload. And that's better, and we also want, let's add some border to the top for the entire footer actually, and we'll say border top solid 1 pix, and then gray. And the gray is too gray, so should be lighter probably. Something like that, I guess. Yeah, that's good. So let's take it and add it to the footer. Alright, and then save and reload. Also, these are links, so let's add it as links. So just go to li, and instead of li, actually instead of advertising, we need to wrap it inside the link. So let's make it like this and have a, and then ref, let's just say google.com, and then close it, and then make it like that. Right, so add it for all of them, then like that, like that. Alright, so, oh, not done. Or actually it was good, yeah. Save and reload, let's see how it looks. It's only for advertising, so something gone wrong. Oh, so actually we have an extra A here. Save. I just added for all of them, so let's see the result. So now we have links for every item. So if I open it, it will open a Google page, but it just looks a bit ugly. So let's fix it, inspect, and then we'll have, as you can see, the A tag has a default text decoration underline, so we'll have text decoration none, and we also want the color to be this one, and we'll have the color like that. And let's add it to the CSS for all of them. Usually you would need to create another class for the A link here, but I will just add for all of them. So I'll use the tag A and then just add it like that. And save, and then reload. And as you can see it, we have it like that, but we don't have the mouse over effect as here. So we'll add A and then over effect, and then we'll say text decoration, and we'll have underline. Save and reload, not on Google but on our website, and as you can see now we have the decoration. So it looks more similar with the Google page. Alright, so I think we get pretty close to it. We are missing this header on the top right. So let's see the difference actually. As you can see, that footer on the top, it stays on the top all the time. So even when you scroll it, it stays here on the bottom, and that's because we used position fixed. But this header on the top right, it moves with the scroll. So that's the difference between position fixed and position absolute. Let's integrate it in our website as well. Alright. So I will create a not footer, header, and I will say, actually just leave it like that for now, and let's have the body wrapper here, and I'll say here I'll have a div, like that, and I will say class equal header, and then reload, and let's find it here on the header, and I will say I want position absolute. And what else do we want? Let's also add the items actually to see them. And then I'll add here. Let's add some items like a list. Like the one from the bottom. I'll add it here. List right. Alright. And then reload. Alright. So it is similar, and then I've said that I want position absolute, and then I want top 0, and then I want right 0. Alright, and let's use the background from, actually this one doesn't have any background, right? They have Gmail images, a square, and the sign in button. So let's say Gmail, and what else? Gmail images, Gmail images. This will be a square. We'll make it after, and then we'll have sign in. Save and reload. Actually, let's add this to the header. Save and reload. Alright, so we get a bit closer. So as we can see, the order is reversed, and that's because of the floating right. So it's sign in square images Gmail, and this is Gmail images square sign in. So let's just reverse it in the HTML, and we'll have, so this one should be first, and then this one second, right here, and Gmail should be the last. Right. Save and reload. Okay, so the order is fine now. Gmail images square sign in. And how we have it here, settings, terms and privacy. Yeah, we need to reverse it on the bottom as well. So let's go here and reverse it. And that's because of the floating right. So this one will be first to the right. Alright. Okay, save and reload. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that was the Google site actually. Yeah, that's good now. Settings. Actually, no. Yeah, privacy terms settings. Good. Okay, so let's get this square from Google and let's inspect it and see what it. Also, it is an image. So let's open it in a new tab. Right, so this is more complicated. So they use an image and then they use only this part of the image with a background position. So let's just take it, but we'll not get into detail because it's more complicated. So let's take this one from here and let's add it as style for us. And that's wrong, and let's add here HTTPS. Alright, and let's remove the text square here. And also let's add display inline block. And let's add for the list here, we'll add a width of 30 pixels and a height of 30, but we still cannot see it, and also add for this one width 40 and height 40. Still cannot see it, so let's see why. This is not working, so let's take the URL from here and paste it here. This should be an URL, so let's write it again, background image URL and then of this one. Okay, so now works. So as you can see, we have the wrong icon because probably we have this one or this one from here. So we need the position from here. So let's see from the Google website what position. So the background position is this one, minus 132 and minus 38. So probably the image starts from here. So we need to go 100 pixels to the left, and then what else? We have 38 pixels from the top or something like that, or reverse. So let's add it where it was, background position, and add it to our style here. Okay, so now we have it. So let's save it to our style to not get too confused. Let's save it and let's add the style for it. Let's say square and add it like that. I will remove this one and right, so I remove this one. We don't need this one and save. I think that's right. So let's see if it works if we reload the page, or yeah, it doesn't work because we need to remove, let's remove the where it was here. Let's remove the square and let's add here a class of let's item square, save it and add it here. Say item square, then add the width and the height. Paste, save, and let's see. Still doesn't work. I wonder. Let's see what happened. And we okay, so it's not working because it doesn't have the class of square. So let's see, but we added here. But the issue is that we have two classes. So if you have two classes on an item, that's an error, and it will read only the first one. So to add another one, let's just remove the class and append it here, like that, and test it. Still not working. Let's see why. So we have it here, but we also need it here. So let's also add item square. Let's add it to the link tag, like that. All right, still not working. We also need, let's add, so we need display inline block, display inline block. Let's see now. Still not working. Also, this one needs item square, but also needs to be square. So let's see what happened in the HTML. So also needs to have square like that, and then reload. So let's also fix the position, and just to make it more fast, let's say position absolute, and then let's say top 0, right? And then we'll go so let's make it like that. So add it to the square, save and reload. Alright, so now we need to fix the sign in button. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so what else do we have? So we have this button. So let's inspect it and let's add some padding probably. Actually, let's first add some background to see it how it looks, and also add some padding like 10 pixels, something like that. And also let's add maybe 15 pixels to the left and right. Alright, so maybe less. So this one, let's say 7, and for this one maybe 12. Okay. So let's take the color for this one, and it is this one probably, or is it, or this one. Let's take this one. Oh, this is how. Okay, let's take this one. Let's say like that. Alright, so we need white text, so we go to the link tag, and then we'll have color white here. Alright, so what we are missing, maybe some rounding corners, which is border radius, like let's say 3. Alright, too much, maybe 2. Alright, and the font I think should be smaller, so let's say here font size 100. Whoops, let's say 14, I guess. And let's add some font weight, bold. Alright. Okay, and we need the margin top to be the, it's not on this one. So let's remove the margin from here, and we need the margin from margin top 0 here. But let's add a bit more. So something like that. Also let's add some margin right. Margin right 10, 20. Alright, so add it to the code. How? So this is sign in button, and let's say here sign in. Then add the style. Let's leave it like that actually, and then we have actually let's sign in button and sign in, and we'll say here text, which is the link. Let's take here the style for the text. Alright, so let's add sign in button to HTML, sign in button to for the sign in. So here, whoops. Right, and then the sign in text to the A class, which is this one. It doesn't have any class, so let's create a new one. Alright, and then save and reload. Yeah, I think it looks alright. It's not perfect, of course, but it's very close. It's very close. It's enough for us. Okay, so now we can also add this icon into the tab. So we have this default. So let's Google for Google icon. And let's go to images. And then which one should, maybe this one. Open in new tab, and then copy the image. And let's go to head. When we said that in the head we have the site information, and then we'll have link, and then we have relationship of shortcut icon, and then we'll have the reference of this long image. And let's save it and then reload. And as we can see now, we have the Google icon as name as fav icon. There are many ways to get it worked, so that's one of them. And also let's add, where's the scroll? Also let's add the title from my website should be Google. So let's see here, Google, and save and reload. Alright. So now we are getting really close to it. So we have the icon, we have the title, and also the content looks like the Google website. Good. So this is how you build the Google website. It looks almost the same. Of course, you can do better. Also, you can write the code in a different way, maybe in a more dynamic way. But I think we did a pretty good job. It looks good. You cannot tell the difference actually if you look in very fast. We can also have some animations and effects. So yeah, that's good. See you in the next one.